Hello my fellow vapors and welcome to another one of Vapeware's weekend reviews. It is the end of the week and typically I do post this on Thursday, but it is coming a little late. And that's just due to scheduling conflicts and a lot of other things that you don't really need to know about because it's not that big of a deal. But we are here today to talk to you about 4 beautiful things. And we have covered a couple of these in the past, but we have not really gone in depth with what we've been doing recently with the weekend reviews, with the spec sheets, the different categories, the what's in the box. What's in the box, guys? I'm so excited. I really love doing this video, and you guys seem to enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing them. So, we are going to talk about the Aspire CF mod, which if you saw my previous videos on those, you know I get very passionate about that because I think it's one of the coolest devices released recently. We also have the Aspire CF Sub, which is in layman's terms, just a big ego battery that runs sub-ohm. We're going to talk about that some. We are going to talk about the Eleaf iStick Mini, which is a brand new device out of Eleaf, and I'm just really excited with what the iStick is going to do and how it's going to evolve and grow, or shrink in this case. We're also going to be talking about a starter tank, and that is the EVOD 2 by Kanger. We're going to be discussing where do those kind of tanks lie nowadays with things like the Aspires and the Eleafs, and where does Kanger kind of fit into that world now that everything has kind of taken a giant leap forward. And that's pretty much it. That's the intro, that's the gist, and we are going to get going. We are going to start with the Eleaf Mini and the EVOD 2, and then we will move into the advanced stuff. I'm going to start putting the beginner, intermediate equipment at the beginning of the videos and putting the advanced equipment at the end so that you can jump and see what you want to see instead of just me being random. But I digress. We are going to get started. I apologize, my hair is down. I ran out of the house like a madman thinking I was going to be late, but in fact I was early. So that's mall traffic for you. You never really know what you're going to get. Forrest Gump. Copyright pending. No, copyright not pending, copyright already done. That is not what it's about, guys. What is it about? It's about vaping, and we are excited about vaping because it's 2015, guys. 2015, not 51. That's 51. That's 50 years in the future. I don't think I can handle that right now. Guys, what will vaping be like in 50 years if it's still around? I'm hoping that it will be and that I will get to ride all the way to the end. But we are going to get started, and what we're going to start with is the Kanger EVOD 2. Please excuse that quick blip with me filming in the actual store. There are some things that go on, and typically we do have to get up and do things because we're busy all the time. If you've gotten a chance to watch our podcast, Employees Only, which a new episode will be coming out on Sunday with me and Jerry, and we will discuss more of that then. But you can tell that because we are an active store, that sometimes when filming video things do happen. So anyway, I digress. We're going to move on with what we were talking about, and that is going to be the at-a-glance product guide for the Kanger EVOD 2. Many people who have been vaping for a long time know exactly what the Kanger EVOD is. It was the first big or little step towards easy vaping. Before, 3-4 years ago, all we had were 808 atomizers with bridges in them and cartomizers that barely held any e-liquid. And then Kanger really stepped up their game, started moving towards things like the T3S, and then we got the EVOD with the Kanger Pro Tank coming out around the same time. Then we have the EVOD 2. So we're just going to dive right into the EVOD 2 real quick. The EVOD 2 is a bottom coil clearomizer. Hi, Jerry. Hey. The EVOD 2 is a bottom coil clearomizer tank system by Kanger Tech. It features replaceable atomizer heads and has an e-liquid capacity of about 2 milliliters, 1.8 to 2 mils. Quick reference specs. 2 milliliter tank, replaceable coil, 1.8 ohm and 2.2 ohm. They also come in a couple other ohms, but those are the two that your average vapor will be using. Dual coil technology. These are the upgraded dual coils by Kanger. Multiple colors, like right here what we have is a blue. They also come in pink, purple, yellow, red, anything you want, it exists. And it is ego threaded. It's not a standard 510 at the bottom, it is ego threaded. What's in the box, guys? What is in the box? Literally nothing other than the device because it is a clearomizer. EVOD 2 clearomizer, that's what's in the box. And in the EVOD, what's in the EVOD? That's a new segment that we're working on. The removable drip tip, stainless steel. You can replace it with any 510 drip tip. And then you also have a dual coil, upgraded Kanger coil, right there. And you can tell it's the upgrade because there's nothing poking out. There's literally just a cylinder with the chimney up there. And then to install, do a little install video. You just screw down until it's tight. Fill up your e-liquid. You see the hole in the center? We want to avoid that. That's where our air and vapor are going to be moving through. So you fill on the side. Just fill it up right under that metal pin. Put it back in there. Screw it down. Put it onto any Ego battery, any Ego threaded mod, and you're good to go. Competitive landscape. Now this is what I really wanted to do the EVOD 2 video about, which is where does it fall in vaping today? With all the new technology, with all the new trends and the evolution of technology, where does the EVOD kind of land at this point? The EVOD 2 competitive landscape pits it against smaller tank systems. For instance, the Maxi and K1 are both comparable. The Maxi and K1 are by Aspire. They are also clear misers. The Kanger EVOD 2 was the first of Kanger's smaller tank systems to take advantage of Kanger's dual coil technology. The Kanger EVOD 1 was also one of the first tanks that they put out in the smaller category right after the T3S, using their single coil technology that they had about a year and a half ago. And was, keyword on was, the most popular tank in that size for a very long period of time, running on about a year. However, with the new technology that Aspire has been pushing, the EVOD 2s may become a thing of the past. Now, I've said this before, and that is that Aspire is running the game right now with things like their mods, their CF sub batteries, their 1000 mAh variable voltage batteries. And then on top of that, they're not only running a great battery game, but their tank game is completely on point. With the Atlantis, they were the first to start sub-tanking. Their Aspire Nautilus Mini, which I preach on a daily basis, we all preach them on a daily basis. One of the greatest combinations that you can get here at Vapewares is going to be an iStick and a Nautilus Mini. But without gushing too much, Aspire is kind of running the game right now. Now, Kanger fired back pretty well when it came to sub-tanking with the Kanger sub-tank. They did a very good job. You've seen my video on that. You can nitpick and decide which one you think is better. In my opinion, it's the Atlantis. And the Atlantis is about to get another step up because Aspire is releasing a 5 milliliter tank replacement piece for the Aspire Atlantis. Anyway, we'll get into that when that comes in. We'll do a follow-up on the Atlantis. That's not what it's about. So where does that kind of leave the EVOD, with Aspire kind of taking over the tank game and the battery game? Where does that leave Kanger? And I have to say, until Kanger develops something new, something revolutionary that will not only be convenient but also operate in this size for the average everyday vapor, Aspire's just going to keep crushing. So that's my challenge to Kanger. Come out with something new. Do what you did with the EVOD 1 2 years ago. Just completely change the game. That's my challenge to you. We're going to go over the pros and cons of the EVOD 2 real quick. Pros: size. It is small. When threaded onto any Ego battery, it does look really, really good. Another pro is going to be the 1.8 milliliter capacity. Like I said, it's either 1.8 to 2 mils. Dual coil technology is another pro. Removable drip tip, which is something that when we first started with these smaller tank systems, we were begging people to do, was we want a removable drip tip because we like to customize. And of course, that's all aesthetics, but moving on. Another pro would be the multiple colors, which we discussed earlier. This is a blue, and we do have purple, red, yellow, black, silver, or stainless steel, whatever you want to call it. Now the cons. Limited airflow. There is no adjustable airflow. There's just 2 holes, very small holes down at the bottom. I'm sorry, there's actually 3. So 3 small holes down at the bottom, and that's where airflow comes from. I have heard of people drilling them out. However, I've never heard a successful story of them working for more than a week after that. Leaking. The Kanger coils have always had this problem ever since the T3S, and most small tank systems do. Leaking. Anytime your device gets leaned to the side or it sits there for too long, the juice will lose its negative pressure and it will just flow right out the air holes. So leaking, that's always been an issue with these smaller tank systems. And the last con, this is the big one, the EVOD 2 has been surpassed in coil design and tank design. And what do I mean by that? We discussed that earlier with the Aspire just coming out and crushing all the competition with their new tank systems. We're going to give the Vapewares rating real quick. Design, 7, only because it has been surpassed. Diversity, 7, because, again, it's been surpassed with that as well. Flavor, 7 to 8. I can't really get a number down on this because I was an avid EVOD user a year and a half ago, and I thought the flavor was great. But now there are new tanks out there that do beat the flavor performance of the EVOD 2. Vapor production, 6 because of that limited airflow, and overall we are going to give it a 7. So that's the Kanger EVOD 2. Any questions you can post down in the comments and I will respond to them. What is next? Now this is something I'm really excited about. This is a new device from Eleaf, and that is the iStick Mini. We're going to do a really quick size comparison real quick. This is the SX Mini by Yeehee. This is a variable wattage single 18650 device. This is the Eleaf iStick Mini. And even with a mini Nautilus on top of the iStick Mini, the SX Mini, when it comes to width and height, if we take the drip tip off, is going to be a little bit taller. And that's insane to me because within the iStick Mini, you have 2,000 mAh. Is it 2,000 mAh or 1,000 mAh? Let me check on that real quick. It is 1,000 mAh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought, wait, 2,000 mAh doesn't sound right. So it is 1,050 mAh. Why they put that extra 50 in there, I don't know. But just size comparison, you can see how small it is in comparison to really any typical 18650 mod. It's much smaller than the typical iStick, and we will be doing a full-on 30 to 45 minute video on all the iSticks when we have all 4 of them in. That's right, there are more iSticks coming. There will be the Mini, which goes up to 5 volts. There will be the typical iStick that you're used to that goes up to 20 watts. There will be a slightly bigger version that goes up to 30 watts, and there will be a much larger version that goes up to 60 watts with 5,000 mAh. It's going to be exciting. It's anywhere from 4,400 to 5,000. They haven't really nailed that down. I've seen conflicting comparisons when it comes to their website and a couple other websites that seem to be carrying them. When we get them in stock, we will do a full in-depth review, what's in the box, everything that comes with it. So real quick, let's go over the quick reference specs. Or we could do the product guide, which I still haven't gotten to. Mini iStick is a tinier and simplified version of the original iStick. Its length is only 52 millimeters, approximately 2.1 inches, making it a perfect fit for the palm of your hand and easy to store in your pocket, even when the atomizer is attached. And as you can see, even with the Nautilus Mini, it is a much smaller device. Quick reference specs, 1,050 mAh. Why the extra 50, I don't know. It would have just sounded better as a 1,000 mAh device. 2.1 inches long, resistance range 1 ohm to 3 ohms. And that will be remedied with the newer, bigger iSticks. They will go down to sub-ohm range. Power range 3.3 to 5 volts with it's a 20 watt max, so no matter what your voltage is, it cannot go above 20 watts. New display, as I can show you right here, if I can bring that up real quick, the display is up top now, so you have your variable voltage up here rather than back in the middle of the screen. Everything is the same from the original iStick other than the display, meaning your power button's right here and your up and down is right here. This also has something that I find interesting. It's a battery percentage meter that says 1,000%. So, not 1,000, I'm sorry, 100%, meaning that it is at full power. Also, if you hold it down, you are going to get a puff counter. So that's 1.5 seconds. I don't know why. The puff counter has always eluded me, or the draw time counter has always eluded me. Why it's necessary, I don't know. Maybe you just enjoy knowing how many milliseconds your drag was. That's nitpicking, but what's in the box? What is in the box? What's in the box? The Eleaf iStick Mini, the 510-2 Ego adapter, and the info pamphlet. Competitive landscape. Say hi, Doug.
Hi.
Competitive.
Really quick.
Absolutely.
Edit break.
Sure, I can edit. Edit. Back. We were just going over what's in the box. We are now to the competitive landscape of the Eleaf iStick Mini. The Eleaf iStick Mini is another device pushing the cuff and creating its own category. The iStick Mini is the smallest variable voltage box mod so far. This device is perfect for people who need a smaller setup or an advanced user who needs a stealth vape. Stealth vaping is when you're trying to be stealthy while vaping. The size with a 1,000 mAh battery is going to push other developers to design and create smaller devices, which will be a breath of fresh vapor in our bigger is better industry. And that is true. If you haven't noticed, when it comes to the way vaping has evolved over the past 3 to 4 years, everything has gotten larger. The first time the MVP came out, everyone said, yeah, right, that's never going to fly. Now, everyone and their mother has an MVP, and there are people with even bigger box mods out there. Have you seen the God mod? It's huge. moving on from that, it is a bigger is better industry, and I think that we are going to see some more developers coming out and saying, well, we can do that in a smaller device, which I'm very excited to see. I'd love to see an MVP with all the power of the MVP and all the milliamp hours of the MVP in a smaller device. I think that'd be great. They got a surprise for you, Jerry. They got a surprise. Jerry loves surprises. Huh?
So that guy's bringing back the ham on the flip.
Anyway, moving forward from that, don't you just love kind of the atmosphere of these videos? Because even when we are getting into the depths of the information, there's still comedy, there's still things happening. And I just love that. I love filming at work because it is really exciting. The pros and cons. The pros is the size. Look at how small that thing is. Perfect vapor production for what it is. It's for your beginner to advanced user, or beginner to intermediate user. Another pro is going to be battery life when compared to pen style.
Vape mail.
Jerry, do you love vape mail?
It's unicorn milk.
Are we gonna talk about some more vape mail on employees only?
Yes.
Yes. Another pro is going to be design. It is a flawless design. It's small, it's compact, your screen is on top, your buttons are on the side, your charger's on the bottom. There's no issue. It's beautiful. Top-down display is another pro, which we just discussed. Pass-through is another pro, which we just discussed. You do charge it down here with a micro USB charger, and you can vape it while it is charging. Pass-through has always been a great idea. It's never really been perfected, but there are a few devices out there that you don't really have an issue with. Wow, that is a lot of vape mail. Folks, it's going to be a good day. I'm excited. The cons. Battery life only when compared to mods. You heard me talk about pros, and I said battery life was a pro. It's also a con. When you compare it to things like the pen styles, like the Egos, the 808s, any of that from back in the day, battery life is obviously going to be a pro considering its size. However, also on the con side, you do have battery life when compared to things like the CF Sub, anything in that kind of range. And con, 10-watt power limit. I'm sorry, earlier I misspoke. I said 20-watt power limit. In reality, it is a 10-watt power limit. That did make more sense to me now. And we're going to get right into the Vapeware's rating. Design is going to give it a 9 just because of the size, how compact it is, and how well it runs. Hi there.
Hi.
How you doing? You want to come jump in for a second?
I got a customer, but...
You got a customer. What do they need?
Hi, guys. Is this ours here?
That is ours. That is the display battery, and the
Yes.
Atlantis is from the bar. I was using it for display, but if you can get it back
you
to me for
vapor?
the next 20 minutes, we're good.
Absolutely.
And that was Jen, folks. Moving forward, Vapeware's rating. Design, we're going to give it a 9 because for what it is perfectly designed. It's perfectly compact. It's beautiful. Diversity is going to be 7 because of that 10-watt power limit and the 1,000 milliamp hour capacity. However, you got to remember, it's a super small device. Future potential, and this is speaking more to Eleaf in general than it is to this exact device, but the iSticks have amazing future potential. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do in the future. I know that by the end of this month, we will have 4 iSticks. So future potential, we're going to give it an 8. We're going to give her an 8. Moving forward, battery life is going to be a 6. Again, when we compare it to other mainstream mods out there on the market, it is going to be a 6. So overall, we're going to give it a 7.5, which is a double thumbs up from me.
I give her an 8.
Jerry's going to give her an 8. We're all going to give her an 8. Moving forward, now we're more into the advanced stuff, so I will mark the minute mark on the comments so that you guys can just jump to the more advanced stuff. And we are going to discuss something that we've talked about before, which is Aspire's CF Sub-Ohm and the CF Mod. Now, some people come in, look at them, and say, well, what's the difference? I don't get it. Why is one more expensive than the other? That is because one is an internal battery. As you can see, this is the Sub-Ohm, and I cannot remove the battery. I could if I wanted to, but that would require a lot of hard work, and you would pretty much destroy the device. As you see, you've got ventilation holes down there. Very sleek device. Oh, is that what I think it is?
It is. Don't say anything.
Oh, can I tell him? Come on, let me tell him.
Inside this box will be topic number 1 of tomorrow's discussion on employees only.
And by tomorrow's... Oh, it is Saturday. Good grief.
I know.
Wow, I'm a little off my
Where do the
game.
days go?
Where do the days go? Really, where do they go? Moving forward, Aspire CF Sub. And I know that we've talked about this before, which I've talked about before, that we've talked about this before, but we're just going to move right in, give it the full spec sheet. The carbon fiber sub-ohm battery by Aspire was developed to be the perfect device for the Atlantis, which we have also talked about. It is an internal battery tube mod that fires sub-ohm at 4.2 volts consistently. And consistently is kind of a broad term because it does start to drop once you get to the end of the battery, but it's not noticeable until the end of the battery. Quick reference specs, 2,000 milliamp hours, blue LED button, blue, 4.2 volt output, and I have tested this with no load. It is at 4.2. When you put a load on there, it drops to 3.9, around 4 volts. Sub-ohm resistance range 0.3 to 1 ohm. So 0.3 to 1 ohm. That's a great sub-ohm range, especially for a device such as this, which is very easy to access by the masses. It's a great device. It's beautiful. I just love this thing. And right there, that was the 0.5 tugboat that we built last week. Still running, still chucking the vapors. And that's pretty much it on the reference specs. It's not a really complicated device. The last thing is 3-click lock feature. 1, 2, 3 will lock your device, or at least it should. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5. I was wrong again. This is just the day that Noah was wrong. We'll call it that. The episode where Noah was wrong, which is typically all of them. Moving forward, 5-click on, 5-click off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. It's going to glow purple, and then it's going to glow blue. Just a wonderful device. The tugboat's great. We talked about that last week. I just wish it wouldn't leak. What's in the box, guys? The box is actually just a tube a little bit bigger than the device, and guess what comes in it? The device. And an authenticity thumbs up piece. It's literally just a piece of paper that's in the shape of a thumbs up. It says, like us on Facebook, authenticity. Blah, 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 blah. Moving forward, that's what's in the box, guys. Nothing. The device. That's it. But you get what you pay for. It's not a super expensive device. It's a very simplistic, very user-friendly, and cost-efficient device. Competitive landscape. The Aspire carbon fiber sub-ohm competitive landscape consists of other sub-ohm capable regulated tube mods. As of right now, we do not carry anything like that other than this right here. The reason it is so unique and sought after is the fact that it is the most simplistic and easy to use mod on the market that stands up and actually performs under sub-ohm load. And I always want to really clarify that when I say something is the best, I always clarify why. And the reason that this is one of the best of its kind is because it's the only one of its kind. And it does stand up under sub-ohm load. This is 0.5. Let's go over pros and cons real quick. The pros are a simplistic one-button system, long-lasting battery, charges like an Ego. Yes, it does use an Ego charger, and I'm going to show that to you right quick. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm going to take the tugboat off real quick. And literally just screw it on like that. All good and done. Charges in about 3 to 4 hours, and you do get 2,000 mile out of it. So think of it like an 18650. How long is an 18650 going to last you in a mechanical mod? That's how you can kind of judge how long it is going to last. Congratulations, folks. You have just been transported 3.5 hours into the future due to unforeseen amounts of people. We had to take a small, tiny little break. But we are back, and we left off, because I remembered, and I looked at the video, we left off at pros and cons for the Aspire CF sub-ohm, which is right here. Shiny, shiny. I'm going to take my Atlantis off the CF mod, which we will be talking about momentarily. Put it over here. Show you that the performance is in fact close, if not the same. Delicious. I love the Atlantis. If you need more information on the Atlantis, please go back and see my video a couple weeks ago. We went over competitive landscape, now pros and cons. We did pros, we did a few pros. Simplistic one-button system, long-lasting battery, charges like an Ego, that's where we left off, charges like an Ego. Pros, multiple colors, as you see that there is a blue carbon fiber, there's a black carbon fiber, a gray carbon fiber, and a red carbon fiber. Sub-ohm performance, which we also discussed, is just stupendous in this kind of device with just how simplistic and small it is, with it just performing day in and day out under sub-ohm load. The cons, it does take 3 to 5 hours to charge. 3 to 5, not 35. 3 to 5 hours to charge depending on what cable you're using, and we do recommend using the Aspire cable and wall adapter. Cons, does not contain instruction manual. However, any info needed can be found on the tube itself. It does come in a tube type box when you buy it. Here's another con. If you buy one, you will want another. If you have a mouse cookie. Now, this is remedied by the CF mod, but if you were just going to do the sub-ohm battery, if I was just doing the sub-ohm battery, if that was my only setup, I would want 2 of them so that they can rotate out so I have a backup. Vapor's rating, design is going to give it, we're going to give her an 8. Diversity, we're going to give her a 9, just because that this was one of the first tube mods integrated in such a way where there's nothing to do. There's no battery to take out. There aren't any dials to switch or turn. There's no buttons to press up and down. It's just a simplistic one-button system. And sometimes simplicity is diversity when you operate in a realm that is completely filled with all sorts of options and customizations. Sometimes simplicity is diverse. Future potential, 9. I'm so excited to see what Aspire is going to continue to do with these mods. There are rumors, I cannot attest to this, there are rumors that there may be a box mod coming in the foreseeable future. When could that be? It could be weeks from now, it could be months from now, who knows. But a box mod by Aspire, I'd be on board. Battery life, we're going to give her an 8. 8 high because it is way above a typical Ego, which when you look at it, the way it charges, the way it vapes, this is an Ego, but it is the size of a mod. So when you compare it with that, the size of a mod, it brings it down from a 10 or a 9, puts it right about 8. We're going to give her an 8. Overall, the device receives an 8.5 from VapeWares. And we are going to move on. If you have any questions about the difference between the sub-ohm mod and the sub-ohm battery, shoot us down in the comments below, and we will discuss that. Now we're going to talk about my favorite device out of the Aspire game right now. We're going to take the Atlantis off of here, take it over here, pop it right on the mod. She's chucking the vapor, folks. She's chucking the vapor. This is the Aspire CF mod. Same design as the carbon fiber sub-ohm battery, but with the ability to unscrew, take out an 18650, pop another one in, and just be done. That's why I said earlier with the CF battery that you would want another one, because there isn't a way to vape it while it's charging. With this 18650s, anyone who uses an 18650 tube mod knows you have more than one. When it dies, you pop the other one in. That is good stuff. That is Donut Pounder from Namber Juice Epic Clouds, which we do now carry at VapeWares for a limited time. If it is popular, if you guys like it, please tell us. Come and give it a try, and we'll get the whole line if everyone enjoys it enough. Let's go over the CF mod, and we'll wrap it up. I know this is running super long. At a glance, product guide, Aspire CF mod. The carbon fiber mod was developed by Aspire to be the perfect device for the Atlantis, which is also true of the sub-ohm battery. It is an 18650 tube mod that fires sub-ohm at 4.2 volts consistently. Now, this is odd. Typically, with any mod that uses an 18650, the 18650 will begin to drain from 4.2 down to 3.7, and you will experience voltage drop. It'll go down as the battery dies. That's not the case with the CF mod. The only drop I notice really hardcore is about 30 minutes before dying and 10 minutes before it changes to yellow. Like I said with the sub-ohm, typically you're going to get a blue LED, and then when it is ready to die or ready for you to change the battery, it will turn yellow, and then it'll flash yellow when it's dead. So you do experience some drop down there, but nothing massive. Quick reference specs: 18650 capable, blue LED button, 4.2 volt output, and that again is not under load. When it is under load, you experience probably around 3.9 volts to 4 volts. Sub-ohm resistance range, like we talked about earlier, is 0.3 to 1 ohm. Now, the question you're probably asking yourself is, well, can I run anything else on this? You can. You can run a Nautilus. You can run anything above that on it, all the way up to 3 ohms. Is it going to perform as well as it will with the sub-ohm stuff? Not necessarily. Like I said, this mod was developed for sub-ohm stuff. Think about it like this. Would you put an Aspire Nautilus onto a mechanical mod? Now, some of you would say yes, because you're rocking maybe the 1.6 coils. But even then, the performance is going to be much higher off something sub-ohm like the Atlantis than it would be of the Aspire Nautilus, Nautilus Mini, or any of the Kanger tanks, with exclusion of the sub-tank. 3-lock feature. It's pretty much going to be the same exact specs other than the fact that it's 18650. 3-lock feature, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, except we learned that it's 5, and I'm an idiot because I keep on reading 3-click lock. That's on me. It is 5 clicks, folks. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's in the box? What's in the box? The Aspire Carbon Fiber mod, and like I said, this isn't a box, it's a tube. Authenticity, thumbs up piece. Hey, go like us on Facebook is basically what Aspire is telling you. Competitive landscape. The Aspire Carbon Fiber Sub-Ohm competitive landscape, Sub-Ohm mod. Competitive landscape consists of other sub-ohm capable regulated tube mods. As of right now, we do not carry anything like that. The reason it is so unique and sought after is the fact that it is the most simplistic and easy to use mod on the market that stands up and actually performs under sub-ohm load. Now, there is a couple nitpicky things that I want to throw in there. There's nothing else out there like this right now. Why do I say that? Of course there are other tube mods that use 18650s and are also regulated. There's nothing this simplistic that fires this low, is what I'm trying to say. No, it's not coming across completely, but that is what I'm trying to say. So what you have here, guys, is just a wonderful device. Performs well under sub-ohm, very cost efficient. The sub-ohm battery is 47, and the CF mod, which is 18650 removable, does not come with an 18650 and is $39. Now, that's cheap for a setup. You can get an Atlantis and a sub-ohm for under $100. Boom, you're cloud chasing. Not necessarily that I agree with cloud chasing, but you can do whatever you want because you're an adult. Or at least I hope you're an adult. If you're not an adult, please leave our page. Anyway, not the point. The point is this. Pros, simplistic one-button system. 18650 capable. Woohoo! Multiple colors. Sub-ohm performance, carbon fiber body is beautiful. And this is something I put on here and not over there because I just want to talk about it once. I don't need to go over it over and over and over. Carbon fiber is beautiful. It's just gorgeous. And I've had a couple people say, well, I don't like the carbon fiber finish, but it's just so pretty. It's good looking. It's a great looking device. Cons. Does not contain an instruction manual. However, any info needed can be found on the tube itself. And that's pretty much it. That's the only con I have. Some people have said, well, I really wish that I could change the voltage, but you don't need to if you're using it for what it was designed for, which is the Atlantis. Vapor's rating. Design, 8. Diversity, 9. Future potential, 9. Battery life, 8. Overall, 8.5. And thank you everyone for watching. I know this has been a kind of a choppy weekend review, but we are going to get more of a flow going, and we will have a weekend review, which is 4 products with all the specs and all the stuff every week, and we will also have an employees only video every week. Whether or not those come out on a specific day, we'll find out, but they are going to move a lot smoother here on out. We're just kind of getting into the developmental stages. If you have any questions, anything that you know that we carry that you would like to see a spec sheet done on, just please comment below. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, and if you are watching this on Facebook, like, comment, and share it up, because you know sharing is caring. Have a wonderful day, guys. Keep calm and vape on.